You suffered a significant injury and now you've brought a lawsuit. And at the very beginning of the case, the insurance adjuster sends you a check that you didn't ask for. What do you do in that instance? Do you send it back? Do you write no thanks? What do you do? Come join me as I share with you exactly what happens. Hi, I'm Jerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury trial attorney practicing law here in the state of New York. This will happen sometimes in car accident cases. You've suffered an injury, and maybe even before you've actually started a lawsuit. The insurance adjuster learns a little bit about your injuries and they send you a check. But before you cash that check, be very careful, because on the check it's probably going to say the following words: in full and final consideration for your accident. Now, what does that mean? It means that if you now deposit or cash that check, you are basically saying your claim or your case is over and you cannot come back and ask them for any additional money. Why would you ever want to do that? Well, from the insurance adjuster's point of view, they think that most people are not very educated, not very savvy when it comes to filing claims and getting paid. And they think that all of a sudden, if now they're faced with a check of many thousands of dollars, something that they were not expecting, that you're going to go ahead, cash that check and deposit it, and that'll be the end of the claim. And if you ignore those words on that check, what will happen is you're going to have a very tough time trying to show anybody, including a court, that that was not the end of your case and you had no intention of ending your case by depositing this particular settlement check. However, the insurance company has a clear agenda. Their agenda is to get you to sign that check to get rid of this claim. Now, the better practice is to pick up the phone and call the insurance adjuster and say, listen, why would you send me a check when I didn't ask for it? How do you know the true extent of my injuries? How do you know that I won't need surgery in the future? How do you know that I'm not going to be disabled permanently? Because clearly this check is not sufficient enough to compensate me for the injuries that I suffered. So why are you sending me a check at this early phase? You don't have all my medical reports. You don't have the reports from my treating doctors. So why would you ever send me a check to settle out my case for a number that you have no idea whether or not truly represents full and fair justice, full and fair compensation for my injuries? Well, the reason they do that is because they expect and they hope that you will cash that check for a very small amount. They're trying to get you to settle your claim for a very small amount to limit the payout. And they know that the longer your case goes on, the chances are the greater they're going to have to pay out. Why? Because you now are going to support your claim with your doctors, with your records, with all the detailed information about how you are disabled and injured. And now the value of your case is probably going to be significantly higher than it was at the very beginning of the case. And that's what happens when they send you a check like that. So why do I share this information with you? I share it with you because this is something that goes on a daily basis, especially involving cases involving accidents, car accidents especially. And if you have questions or concerns about your own particular matter, what I encourage you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your legal questions here in the state of New York. My number is 516-487-8207 or by email at lawmed10@yahoo.com. I'm Jerry Oginski here in New York. Thanks so much for watching.